So here we go. John, that was a good idea. Welcome to Garden America. Welcome to whatever mess we have going on in here with wires every place. And
my daughter's visiting from out of town, my daughter and the grandkids, and we went to the beach in Carlsbad, stayed at the Tamarack Beach Resort for a few days. And while the weather was 100 degrees in Fallbrook, it was in the 80s on the coast, 80s and humid. Which is about as high as I think you guys get, Tiger, right? Did you hit 90 at all?
I don't think we did. It definitely felt like it sometimes.
Yeah, because of the humidity.
But I don't think we actually did.
It's cooling off, though. Today's supposed to be even cooler.
We're going to hit 90 in Fallbrook again, though.
81 where we are.
Yeah. So my daughter came out for a visit because everybody's birthday's around the same time. So we were celebrating my daughter Gina's birthday, which is on the 12th of September, which is, what's today, the 9th or
8th? No. What is today? Because my mom's is on the 9th, or let me see here. 6th.
Oh, it's only the 6th. Okay.
You know what? I like John's idea. We're going to back up here.
What's that? Yeah.
This is going to be for Daniel. So we're going to start the show.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea since we have it set. So here we go, 3, 2, 1. People love this, because it's a peek behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Welcome to Garden America. Your boys are back. We're in studio. I'm Brian Main, John Bagnasco, Tiger Palafox here. Thank you for joining us. We hope you had a good week. We enter the weekend very positively. Lots of optimism. Whatever you heard before the other start of the show is a moot point because we just started fresh, John. Everything from here forward is the real reality, not what you thought you heard before.
As opposed to the fake reality.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We got into that fake news thing for a while, and it just wasn't working.
It didn't work for us.
No.
So
With gardening, you need real news. And by the way, today's show is going to be geared towards roses.
All right.
I figured let's talk about something I know.
There you go.
At least we can get that taken care of. And it's important to talk about roses because this is the time of year where certain things should be happening.
That was in the newsletter.
Yeah.
You talked about this is one last push, right, John?
If you're in California.
Yeah.
If you're in colder areas of the country, you don't have to do anything. Yeah, if you're in Michigan, just let them go. Don't cut them back. You never want to cut back roses in cold climates going into winter because your pruning is in the spring and it's cutting out dead wood, from everything that freezes.
I told John a couple of weeks ago after seeing his rose that I cut mine way back to sticks. They look like sticks.
Yeah,
I had never done that before. I've always been kind of a sissy pruner.
Yeah.
And just a little bit here,
tentative.
A little bit there, but I cut them way back. This has been now 3 weeks, already leaves. They look like they're brand new roses.
Yeah.
Anybody that's afraid to do that, do it. Make the plunge. Cut them back.
I'm asking Tiger to give me comments on my phone.
I don't know what's going on. I think it's just the new way it's up here for the comments, John. You got to kind of figure it out. But Carla wrote that she loved Tanya's lithops from the newsletter.
Tanya sent me a couple emails, one with a picture of her lithops, but one with a little care on how to grow lithops, which I thought was kind of funny because I wrote 2 books on cactus and succulents. And I have our listeners instructing me how to grow lithops. And I admit I've never been able to grow them, but the one that I have in the ground I think will bloom this week. So I never had that much trouble with lithops growing in, I would say, in pots because you can just stop watering them during the times when you're not supposed to. But in the ground, that's been a problem for me if they get too much water at the wrong time. But as Tanya pointed out, this is the time of year where they are going into their growing season, and that's when they can use some water. But anyway, I'm kind of excited about the ones that I have, and they're going to be opening. But back to roses.
Yeah, I'm excited. And I never sent you pictures when I cut them back. I said,
you should
John,
have done it before and after.
Yeah,
but
live and learn.
If you're in California and you're cutting back now, in 6 weeks, your blooms will be almost as nice as they were in spring.
I'm halfway there. I'm 3 weeks into
You know,
it.
we usually use 6 weeks as a general rule of thumb, but in the fall it sometimes takes a little longer because the days are getting shorter. I think it used to be, was it last month was 8 o'clock before the sun set? Now it's setting at 7. Thank you,
You just
Tiger.
have to touch the screen and then they'll pop up. Carla has a couple questions that she's queuing up for you regarding roses right now.
Yeah, let's hit Carla. Let's
Don't hit Carla. She's been a good girl. Hey,
figuratively speaking.
the one thing I wanted to point out, Lisa in Reading wanted to know, she got one of those propagating boxes, and she put all her cuttings in it, and they all died. So she wanted to know what she did wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And first of all, I want to point out to all our listeners, if you go to YouTube and just put how to grow rose cuttings, you'll come up with quite a few videos.
1,000 videos.
Yeah, you pick the one you want.
And the one you
Don't
want...
pick John's because
it's not there. But the one you want is one that shows you how to do it with the cutout soda bottle, where you cut out the bottom, and that's
2-liter bottle. Usually.
Right. We used to use that for years, right?
yeah.
So on these propagating boxes, you do the same thing.
Like the humidity dome, right? That's what you're trying to achieve with it, like that one that you purchased on Amazon, and it's got the heat pad and the ventilation and everything. How is that working out, by the way?
Well, that's what Lisa has. And I just took a sip of tea and drank it down the wrong way.
Oh.
But Lisa said she's not using the heating pad because she thinks it's warm enough.
100 degrees.
You need the you need the heating pad. So Lisa, turn that on and turn it to medium.
So even
she has it in the house.
even if it's 90 degrees outside right now.
Right, because the soil's not 90 degrees. Right?
Okay, so no, that's a great no. I would have never thought to use the heating pad in the summertime when I was propagating plants because I thought it would be warm enough. But you're saying that heating pad warms up the soil,
right?
And that's the critical part of the warm, not the outside air, not the sun on it, but that soil needs to get up to that temperature.
Then the other important thing is what type of cutting to take, right? And I find shoulder cuts are the most effective. And a shoulder cut is if you look at, first of all, it has to be a rose that just bloomed. And the bloom is faded. And you cut off the bloom and then take the cutting from where it attaches to the stem.
So way up high, right there, the shoulder, so to speak.
Right, where it's attached. And that area that you cut off is the area where roots are usually going to form naturally. And if you try to cut it at an angle, that's good. And I think Lisa said she used 1 bud per plant. Well, you've got to have a 6 to an 8-inch cutting.
Cut.
Yeah, small one's not going to work. So do that. Go to YouTube, and everything else Lisa was doing was fine. So you should get much better results. And it's important not to keep the soil too wet, just evenly moist.
I always describe the correct moisture for soil is damp, like a wrung out sponge. So if you were to pick up a handful of that soil and squeeze it, no water would come out,
right?
But it would
but
feel
it still
wet,
feels moist, right?
Right, but it's not dry and powdery. That's the ideal situation. Now let me ask you, because you mentioned the flowers need to be fading, John. So this can't be a budded up cutting. This
cannot be a fresh bud.
And it can't be a fresh bud
that hasn't opened, or a flower that's still open.
Now, what about on the opposite end? Like it's already a hip. Is that too late now? Is it kind of like you got to be there in the middle?
It'll still work, but you're getting to where it might be too late.
Okay.
So the other thing is that spring and fall are the best times to root roses. So this is a good time to do it.
I have a rose question for you too, John. I don't know how you feel about this, and other people that are rose growers out there listening, let me know what you think about this right now. But you would go to some people's homes with their roses and they were, just absolutely gorgeous. I think I told you, some months ago, John, I went to this home in Temecula and they had roses and they were just, everything looked perfect. no problems whatsoever on any of these roses, that I figured they've got to be using something like the Bayer, all-in-one, or the Bayer 3-in-1 that was protecting them against bugs and disease, and they were fertilizing and all that stuff, which is a great product. If it's a really no nonsense, you treat your roses with one granular product and you don't have to worry about them. And we've talked about how you don't have a lot of bugs or problems in your roses and you don't do anything, but this is just something for people to make it easy. But doing away with imidacloprid now in California, where now they can't put that. They put in a new chemical. I saw it on the shelves again this week. So I saw the Bayer, or Advanced, what is it now? Advanced or something. And
I think it's Bayer Advanced.
Okay, I think so. So, as the same, label, so to speak, the 3-in-1 and the all-in-one, but the chemical makeup was different. And I don't remember what it is off the top of my head, and I don't have my phone in here to look it up. But they switched the chemical, and I'm wondering, the rose growers out there, I'm sure those systemic treatments were probably just part of their program every year. What do you think? Did a lot of people use that, or is it going to be a thing that's missed?
If you only had a few rose bushes, I think it was one of the safest chemicals to use for the environment, because you weren't spraying everything in the air. You were putting it in the soil, and the only thing the only insects that would kill would be insects that were chewing or sucking on the rose bush. But now who knows? Yeah,
and the new chemical that they put in there could be, like you're saying, like worse for what it is. I mean, who was it that we were talking to about? Andy from Fertilum, about the glyphosate, and they took away the glyphosate, but they replaced it with a product that's actually, factually worse than the glyphosate.
We're going to take our first break. To keep us on time. Biz Talk Radio, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Those that are watching the weird video on Facebook Live, I say weird because look at who's on the look at you guys. You're in the video. Anyway, we're going to take a break. I'm Brian Main, John Bagnasco, Tiger Palafox. This is Garden America. Back after these messages. Okay, right back after that break on Biz Talk Radio. Very quick on Facebook Live. Just one camera for those that are watching Facebook Live. Kind of a weird long side shot of John and Tiger.
Weird long side shot.
Weird long side shot.
Good description for radio.
A weird long side shot. So you had mentioned
just a change in products out there.
We talked about this a few weeks ago, and I asked what I thought was a very basic question: was these people making these decisions to take away something, to discontinue
these people,
exactly. So where are they getting their advice from? You would think experts in the industry that would say, actually, it is safe, or perhaps if you want to change a chemical, go to this chemical. How are they making those decisions?
From the pressure they get from environmental activists.
Which makes no sense, because that's fine. Give us all the pressure you want, but at the same time, let me do some research and find out what is safe and what isn't safe.
Yeah, and they've pulled products off the shelf that we know are not safe to use.
Right, but then they replaced it with this new chemical you talked about.
Well, but I'm saying, there's products that we used to use that definitely were not good to use, which is fine when that happens.
DDT wasn't especially good.
Yeah.
You still use Agent Orange, John, on your property?
Well, yeah, because they have a lot left over at Camp Pendleton.
Sure.
It's
and you're so
there.
close.
Yeah, and it's handy.
But I'm also interested to know, because we have listeners from all over the country.
Right.
And
all over the world.
All over the world. And just because something's not available to us doesn't mean it's not available to them. And there's all kinds of products. I had this friend that had a rattlesnake problem at their house. They used to live in East County, San Diego, and they had a rattlesnake problem at their house. And there were all kinds of snake repellents out there, right?
Right.
And, obviously California has its rules about what they can put in there. But then we had this other friend that lived in Arizona that lived and died by this snake repellent that they had. But we couldn't get it here in California. So my friends in California would get my friend in Arizona whenever they would visit. They'd bring out these repellents. But sometimes there's products that are found elsewhere. And so what I'm getting at is
just state by state.
Yeah,
you mentioned.
I bet you there's people out there that have their products that they buy in their hometowns or their states that they love to use, whether it's for aphids or for snakes or for gophers or all that stuff. I mean, we used to, I don't think it's available anymore, but the gopher bait with strychnine, right? Like that was an option for us for a while there. And I don't think it is anymore, but, I'm sure there's a lot of states that still allow some, because there's some big pest problems wherever you go.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you carried it, but most nurseries and ag supplies had the Wilco ground squirrel bait.
Yeah.
And that was, a year ago, last January, it was discontinued.
Discontinued, yeah.
And you can't get it anymore.
Yeah.
And it was very effective. Well, now ground squirrels are taking over again.
Yeah. And I mean, not to stray too much from your topic of roses, John, but that's always been the picture on the package, for plants. Because roses is the number one thing. Roses and tomatoes. If you're going to sell something for gardening, put a picture of a rose or put a picture of a tomato on there, and people are going to say, "Oh, I need this for my roses or for my tomatoes." So, through the years, there's been a lot of products that people have been specifically catered towards for roses, and rosarians have their thing. You talk about was it the Grow Power product or Grow More product that only the San Diego Rose Society gets made for them like once a year?
Oh, yeah. I think it's Grow More.
Grow More. Yeah. And you guys love that, and you guys buy a pallet of it once a year. And
I think it's the best fertilizer on the market.
Yeah.
And that's GRO, isn't it?
GRO.
Just GRO, not W.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Grow Power. But the problem is we can't, I can't even get it.
Except it is a W for Grow More, right?
Is it? Grow Power is just GRO?
I think so.
And then Grow More is GROW more?
I think so.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not sure. I'm not sure what Tanya was referring to, and maybe but talking about, I'm sorry, I guess it was Carla. She said like HB 101 in California. Yeah. Can you not get HB 101 here anymore?
Great question. I don't know.
It's on Amazon. I went to Amazon.
I'm a little bit removed from the retail side of it things now, but I know we have some on our shelves. So, hope nobody from the county or city is listening.
Well, the ones that you're going to throw away,
exactly.
Those are still sitting on the shelf.
But I really think that the problem there is the packaging. Right, because they leave HB 101 is very vague, right? They don't put a lot of specifics in their package.
They say that it's conifer extracts.
Yeah, California wants you to tell us exactly what's in it,
how much of each one,
and exactly what you can use it for,
and what does it do.
Yes, and if your package is any kind of like, do you think that I could put a bottle on the shelf and just say spray?
Well. To be honest, the HB 101 is kind of like the old snake oil.
Yes. Yeah.
Except it works.
It does work. It works really well, but I've never understood it.
Yeah.
So I just use it.
True. You're right. Like for those of us that have been involved with HB 101 for all these years and talked to what was her name?
Yeah, we had her on a time or two.
Yeah, a few times.
Yeah.
I can't remember, but
right.
She's the rep, the manufacturer for it all, and still don't understand how it works.
Yeah.
Well, when you describe it to people, they say, "Is it a fertilizer?" No, it's more like vitamins.
Yeah.
It's more like taking a vitamin B. It's good for you.
But see, the problem there is they used to sell vitamin B1, which did absolutely nothing.
For plants, yeah.
Well, that's just the analogy I give people.
Yeah,
It's just kind of a boost.
They did sell that, so people kind of get the same feeling that maybe HB 101 is the same kind of hoax.
Yeah, exactly.
Who knows? Lisa brought up, we were talking, I guess it was last segment, about the rooting box, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the one thing that we neglected to say is that it does come with lights on the box.
Mm-hmm.
The what are those kind of lights?
LED
called?
lights.
LED.
Mm-hmm.
And Lisa wanted to know how long do you keep those on? And you know what I do on mine is sometimes you can buy it this way depending on what system you bought, but if not, just get a timer.
Mm-hmm.
And I set it for 12 hours. So I let it on for 12 hours. I think especially because it's LED, you need a little longer time. And it's not natural light. So 12 hours and just have it go on and off, and you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, and so basically you're getting 24 hours of potential growth, potential development, versus if you don't have a light, you're really only getting the daylight hours for that.
Right, and if it's indoors, like mine's in a garage.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So I have it. I think I have it set for 8 to 8.
Your garage is nice, too. It's a very well-lit garage. Lots of natural light going in there.
Yeah.
Where do you keep the hay bales? In the garage?
No, there are no hay bales.
So do you only set it, though, at night, though? Because, like I say, your garage is very naturally lit. Or do you just have 12 hours no matter what time of day it is?
It's on a shelf, so it's not getting
good light.
Direct light.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'd love to continue this garage talk, but we have to take a break.
All right, let's do
for
that.
Biz Talk Radio.
We
We
can
do
always
appreciate
come
that.
back.
And our friends that are tuned in on Facebook Live, it is Garden America. Hello there. I'm Brian Main, John Bagnaska, Tiger Palafox. Break time, pay some bills, and back after these messages on Biz Talk Radio. Yes, indeed.
Some squirrels, some chemicals.
In your storage shed.
We are back from
Thank
the
you,
break.
Carol.
In case you're
I
wondering.
think you're absolutely right on that one.
It is Garden America. Thank you for joining us. Here we go. Been talking about roses and chemicals and fertilizers and HB 101, things taken off the shelf. And, yeah, it does vary state by state.
Yeah.
And it's interesting how it's not like there's not one consensus that, yes, it's been proven that this is bad, take it off across the board.
Yeah.
It's state by state.
Well, I mean, and that it does make sense to some degree because, we have different problems than other places do. So there are some things that we need to use more or less than other places. I mean, was it kudzu? That's the rampant weed kind of through the South.
Kudzu, yeah.
Kudzu, rampant weed through the South kind of a thing. And, I mean, I'm sure that they need to use glyphosate to control that. And because it's literally taking over forests, and that's a problem.
So what's the lesser of the two evils, right?
Yeah.
My uneducated opinion is that it's one of the safest chemicals in the world.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's been sprayed by tons.
Yeah.
All over.
Yeah, and all over our food.
Yeah.
Forever.
Too bad you can't get up in front of somebody.
Hey, John, so I got another Rose question.
And
You're
talk
talking
about
yours.
these
Hey, quickly, though, let
Yeah.
me just answer Lisa. She said hers did come with a timer, and she can't
cool.
figure out how to use it.
Oh, goodness.
Well, just ask John. He's an expert
Yeah, he's
with
perfect. Yeah.
with your
Well,
watering
I
timer.
want to admit the same thing.
Sprinkler
I
timer.
couldn't figure out how to use it, so I got the kind you use for Christmas tree lights.
Yes, that you
just
just
go to
plug into.
to Ace and you can buy one.
Yeah.
And just plug it in that way.
John's timer is on his phone, and he sets an alarm, and it goes off, and he goes out, he turns it on, and then it goes off,
So-
and he turns it off.
In dealing with timers, so there's the digital timer, which actually has the
digital,
time,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
there's a little dial.
That's the
the
one
dial one.
he's talking about.
Okay, so I cannot figure out that dial. Dana loves it.
Yeah.
I said, well, just get the digital one right there. It gives you the time,
Yeah.
and it tells you how much time to turn it on or off. No, I like the digital. And not the digital, but the clicker.
Yeah, I know the one you're
The
talking
clicking
about.
one, yeah.
But that one's simple to use once you figure out that
Yeah.
you have to take the little dial and turn it to the current time.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
right.
once you do that, then if you want it to
The
be
other
on,
one to
you
the-
either push
pull.
those little buttons down to where you want it to stop, or pull them up.
And you think
depending
that's
how it goes.
easier than your what's the sprinkler, right?
Sprinkler. What's a sprinkler?
Wow, I don't know. I'll figure that out. You think that's easier than your sprinklers that you haven't figured out yet, the timing on that?
Oh, I still don't know how to do those, but I do know how to turn them on and off manually.
Yeah.
Tiger's going to teach me how to.
Yeah, but it's simple, right? You just
No, it's not
There's
simple.
a clock, right? And then
There's a lot of buttons that do a lot of jobs. Let's say that, right?
Right.
Like the same button, you can activate something, or the same button also adds time, or the same button changes to a different mode.
See how complicated it is?
So it's kind of like English, where you have one word that means 4 different things, and you've got to figure out which thing are they trying to determine from
So
that
here-
one word.
here-
Or
I-
one word that sounds the same but spelled 4 different ways.
Yes.
okay, here's a
exactly.
problem I see already with that.
Yeah.
So you could teach John how to do it. You go, oh, okay, I've got it. Now, he doesn't have to do it for the next several months.
That is a
and
huge
then
issue with people.
You forget.
You know what? And it's so funny you mentioned that, Brian, because I had the same conversation with a customer of mine this week. And so I have a Rose question for John again, but regarding this irrigation thing, I was at someone's house and I was programming their clock for them because they had problems with it. And so I go out there, and this is a very common thing, and I'll see if I can explain it well to people listening. But when you have irrigation controllers, they usually have multiple programs, and you have multiple programs to change the frequency of water days. So, for instance, like a lawn in a hot summer time, you might want to water it 3 to 4 times a week. So you need to have it on its own program so you can have it activated 3 to 4 times a week.
And then timing how long you want it to go.
Yeah, and that involves the station time, okay? But then at the same time, you might have plants, and they only need water once a week. So you can't have them on the same program because you got one activating 4 times a week, and you only want one. So you separate them out on different programs. So that's the programs, okay? Then you have start times. So the reason why you might have multiple start times is the biggest reason is you have a sloped area. And if you run your system for what it needs, maybe 20 minutes, you might have runoff, meaning after 5 or 6 minutes of the system running, water just starts running down the hill.
Right.
Well, you can have multiple start times. So what you do is you run it for 5 minutes, have it turned off, run it again in an hour for 5 minutes, have it turn off, run it again in another hour for 5 minutes, have it turn off. So you're getting 20 minutes of watering, but it's staying there. So that's why you have multiple start times. And then you have your run time, which is the individual zones, which, 5, 10 minutes, an hour if you have a drip or something like that. So people get in there and then they start programming it all, and they put in multiple start times. They put in multiple programs. And next thing you know, your lawn is getting watered 7 days a week, 3 times a day for 30 minutes, and you can't figure out why.
And then you have the changing of the seasons, summer to winter, where you don't want the same times or the same, duration.
But then, like what you hinted on, the biggest problem is I do this every day.
Yeah.
I go to someone's home almost every day and adjust their irrigation controller, where, like you say, like John, you, the normal homeowner, they're really only touching it maybe once a month or once every 3 months, if that.
You forget.
And you forget what you did last time, you forget how to do it, and it becomes very difficult.
You need to take a video like of yourself explaining it to somebody, put it on your phone, so the next time you have to do it, you can just go down there and do it. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
So, John, my Rose question.
What the timeout is for me is Tiger's explanation. I just zoned out.
Your eyes glazed over.
I don't even know what he was talking about.
Yeah, it's tough.
I mean, I get the concept.
And it's not because Tiger's boring. It's because my mind can't comprehend that.
But I get the concept, but it's all these, because you have, not everything, because you're sharing, this button shares and does a lot of things.
Yes.
It doesn't just do one thing.
Exactly.
It's not like on and off.
No.
Or you can turn it on and off, but you can also set it for 5 minutes here. You can set it for a sloping. You can go 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and pretty soon, like, wait, what?
Yeah.
What? Because it's so multifaceted. I mean, can you simplify it? Can you dumb it down?
You can.
Like John does it. Does John need all that?
No, but he needs to know that, because when he's adjusting, he needs to know the mistakes he's making.
Okay.
Meaning, like I said, some people go in there and they go, oh, I should put in these 4 start times because I have 4 zones. It's like, no. You need 1 start time, because it doesn't start for every zone. It just is, it's going to start on zone 1 and then go to the next one, then go to the next one automatically. And people don't know that. They think they have to put in a start time for every zone, and they don't realize they're running their system 4 times. Yeah, it's very confusing.
The other thing I'm thinking of is, do you need to change systems on a regular basis?
Like the actual clock?
No, the types of sprinklers. Like, in the back, we had those sprinklers and we pulled them all out and we put in Netafim.
Yeah.
Because the other ones weren't working. Mm-hmm. And now I'm thinking the area in the front of the house where we have that system, there's landscape there now, and nothing's getting watered except the very front.
Because it's blocking.
It's blocking.
Yeah, you need to adjust, right, based on
so do
how
we need to
landscapes
go to
grow.
Netafim there too, maybe?
The only issue that I have with the Netafim is Netafim makes it very difficult to plant new flowers, annuals, small perennials, because with a sprinkler system, you run it for 7 or 8 minutes and it waters pretty good, right? Where with Netafim, if you're not planting an annual or a perennial right next to the line,
Right.
then it doesn't get watered. And you have to get out there and hand water a lot until it gets established.
Right.
So,
but with the other system, you get no water.
right.
Right.
Well, or you move a sprinkler. You know what I mean? Like sometimes what we'll do is
maybe add sprinklers to the back,
to the
coming
back
the other way, or something.
Yeah, it just depends. So
Got
it just depends on what you want to do.
Yeah.
But you do need
That
to,
makes
like you're
sense.
saying, like as beds mature,
Right.
as beds grow, things get blocked.
Well, where we put the Netafim in the back with the roses, they're doing spectacular. They look great.
And I think it was a great spot. It was a small bed.
Right.
All you really have is roses there, so you just soak that bed.
Yeah.
Yeah. The rose question I had for you, John, was
We got about 30 seconds. We got
okay.
a break
We'll
coming
lead
up.
it, and
Yeah.
then we'll go to the break.
Yeah.
You got your starter. You've also started roses from seed before. Are you the kind of person that's just going to scatter those seeds into that starter bed, and then as they grow, you'll divide them and pull them out and separate them into individual plants? Or are you the person that's going to grow them in individual rows so that way later on they are individual plants?
Spread your seed, go forth and multiply. We're going to take a break, final break for, I should say, the final segment for Biz Talk Radio, Hour 1. And for the rest of us on Facebook Live, we'll just keep on cruising along. This is Garden America back after these Biz Talk Radio messages. Okay, we are back, as I mentioned, going into the break. Final segment for Hour 1 on Biz Talk Radio. Facebook Live, thank you for the questions, the comments, as we just roll along here, talking about a lot, sprinkler systems, roses, spreading your seed. John,
What would you
comments?
do? What would you do,
Okay,
Brian?
what's that?
If you got a flat, okay, and you're going to plant seeds in there, no matter what they are,
Right.
are you just going to scatter those seeds in that flat, and then as they grow, you'll take out the plant, the viable plants, and then maybe replant them, or transplant them? Or are you the kind of person that would take that flat and you're going to put your seeds in individual rows spaced out evenly, so that way when they did grow, they would already be individual plants?
Yeah, the latter.
I think Brian would be the
I would do
straight
that.
line kind of
Oh,
guy.
yeah, I would be.
What are you, John?
Well, it depends. If it's from breeding, you want to know what that cross was, so you don't want to mix it with other things.
Yes.
So I usually put them in individual liner pots.
Right.
With the tag, and I put the cross in that pot. So whatever germinates, I know what it is. But then I let them grow in there for till they develop maybe 3-4 inches, and then I pull them out and separate them and put them in
Because you do grow
individual
multiple
pots.
ones in liner pots.
Right, because you don't know what's going to germinate.
Right. So you, in that liner pot,
Some
you got this
seeds
little
you get
clump.
like 80% germination, others you get 5%, 10%, some none.
And at what plant, this is roses, at what plant height do you begin to separate them out?
About
at?
3 inches.
About 3 inches.
In
Do you throw away the runts, or do you keep them and try to get them to go?
no, I want to see what they're going to do.
Yeah.
But the way they do it commercially is they'll have they do it in greenhouses, of course, but they'll have long beds, and they scatter the seeds in a row or an area with a label at the end, and they let them come up and actually bloom there.
Oh.
And then they go through and they pull them out.
Oh.
So
do they use it flat, or when we were at Plug Connection and we were doing the tomatoes and stuff, they would have them in little cells, kind of a thing. Was that the way?
No.
Flat.
Like Jackson and Perkins used to, or Weeks, would have tables that were seed starter soil, mostly vermiculite.
Okay.
And they would plant the seeds in that and let them come up.
Just
So any seed that germinates 1,000 seeds that Jackson and Perkins used to do when Keith Zeri was there, they would be surprised if they got 5 plants that they kept out of 300,000.
Now,
Oh my
now, when we
gosh.
were in France at that
Mayon.
where they developed and grew
Right,
roses,
right.
they took us out in the back, and there was these huge piles.
Those were roses that made it through that stage where they eliminated all the bad ones. Those were the ones they thought had merit, and all those huge piles we saw were, the second culling that, like, we thought it would be good, but it's not.
It's not, and huge. I mean, you think, what a
Mountains,
waste.
right?
Yes. You
Yeah.
think, wait, nothing is good in there?
It's
It's
funny.
It's good enough for me.
It's
Yeah,
funny. It's
exactly.
funny how we get with that with life. Like, we've talked about this with you before, Brian, that you're a, salvage gardener, where if you see a plant just laying by the trash can,
Yeah.
you'll grab it and then bring it back to health and keep
Yep.
it on your patio. And, there are so many, plants out there that just go to waste, and we always feel bad, for those plants. But at the same time, it's just like, it's part of it.
Yeah. I found a succulent just randomly on the grounds.
What?
It's
Just like a cutting that was like
Yeah.
fell off of
Yeah.
someone's.
So I
thing.
took it and kind of haphazardly stuck it in a pot.
You're so lucky you don't have like 10 acres.
No, I know, right?
If you had a lot of property,
I'd be going. That's all I would do.
yeah,
All I would do, I'd be out there all the time.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's because what I do have is very crowded. But I took this succulent, I kind of stuck it into a pot till I can decide what to do with it.
and,
Dana says, "Well, it's going to die." I go, "No, it's okay for a while. I could put it on the ground, for a month,
while.
and it would be okay. I just don't know what to do with it.Maybe I will throw it away, but it's fine. It's green. It's very viable. Can't stand it. It's like tossing out I don't know,
no, I mean
a living
it's-
creature.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, you're lucky you don't have a lot of property, because I think that you would every plant on your property would be salvageable to you.
Yeah.
Or maybe you would learn to let go.
Yeah, I think after
Maybe
a while
would
you have to
let
learn.
go.
Yeah,
Because look at John, like he salvages everything too. Like he's saying, like he wants to see what the rose is, but you also are okay with the roses dying every once in a while. Like
I am now.
You're okay. You
It
understand.
used to be a traumatic experience.
Really?
you know why?
There's a
Because
rose called Susan Ball, and I think I had the last one in the world. And it
Well, that's
died,
different.
Well, that's
that's different.
different.
died
Yeah.
while I was on vacation.
No, I'm talking
years
about
ago.
your propagation, your cuttings, and you're like, that one didn't make it. Not a.
Oh, I don't
terrible
have
thing.
that kind of attitude,
Yeah.
but it's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I can't root these anymore.
I think a
Because
lot
I
of
just got
gardeners.
a bunch from Sangerhausen
Yeah.
that I've been trying to get to root, and I can't.
Oh,
I think
no.
a lot of gardeners take it personally. You're responsible for that plant dying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well,
I'm
yes.
like the little prince.
Yeah, you're like, well, yes, it was under my care, but I did everything I was supposed to do. I really had no control over it, didn't you? Well, that's all. Defense rest, Your Honor. Wait, what?
Wait. No, I tried.
Yes.
You can order trees, right?
Yes.
Can you order trees for customers?
Yes.
Can you get Lila in Poway a brachiochiton disc color?
Was that the one we were asking about last week?
Yeah, I thought that I had seen it at Green Thumb Nursery.
Right. I think we mentioned that. Yeah.
Yeah, and Lila went
Said
and
no.
checked, and so she didn't come out and say, John, you lied. You had no idea what you were talking about. But she said that they didn't have one.
Okay.
So
I can't access my phone right now, Lila, because it's holding us up.
Part of the
But-
baleen wire that's holding
But
us
send
up.
me an email, and when I'm back in on Monday, I will look into it for her, because I'll be back out at her house, I think, in another week or so. So
yeah.
All right, it is break time for Biz Talk Radio, because top of the hour news is coming up for those fine listeners on Biz Talk Radio. Facebook Live, we are coming back sooner than later, so do stay with us on this weekend. I'm Brian Main. John Bagnasco, Tiger Palafox, thank you for tuning in to Garden America. And again, after the top of the hour for Biz Talk Radio, we come right back. Stay with us. All righty, welcome back to the show. If you are a Biz Talk Radio listener, this is the very beginning of hour number 2 at about 6 minutes after the hour, Facebook Live. People questioning the camera angle. It is because of the way we're set up this morning. We just have the one camera, which is able to work off the Wi-Fi here in the studio, and we just had to decide where we were going to point it.
Yeah.
No, I was going to point it. I wanted to point it up to the ceiling,
At the roof.
at the roof, and the carpet. And you said no. Let's put it on John and myself.
Yeah.
So that's why it's there. Now I didn't realize a lot of people who listen to us on Facebook
watch it,
don't
too.
watch it. They just listen. But apparently people like to watch.
Yeah.
We got to do more visual shows.
The I'm having trouble on my phone where I usually follow the comments.
Yeah.
And Carla says, "Will I please answer Lenore's rose question?"
Can we find it?
And I can't find Lenore's rose question.
So Tiger's going to do that right now.
So
As
you
we
were
all
telling me
wait.
how you had you cut your roses back 3 weeks ago?
3 weeks ago, the week after, or the week following our remote at your house.
Okay, and you said they all have great leaves and they look like spring, but do you have any flower buds yet, or just the leaves?
I'm going to take a closer look. The leaves are the obvious, the red leaves, the
Right.
early young red
Because you
leaves.
still have about probably 3 more weeks before you get flowers.
I would say I might have the beginnings. I'll go look at all of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was quite a task to
How
undertake.
many roses do you have now?
15.
Wow.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
You have 15 roses in a condo full of trees and fountains.
Well, I've got
and bird
most of
feeders.
them up lining the sidewalk, which is not really. It's my property, but it's not. It's still considered HOA. But hey, what the heck? It looks nice. I'll show you. I should take a video and show you what I've done.
Yeah.
But everything's doing well. What's the last plant that I had that died?
The one that I gave you that the rat ate.
Yes. Well, that had barely got started.
Yeah.
That poor thing.
By the
That
way,
was
I
a
told
wandering
you-
Jew.
I told you maybe it just wandered away.
That's what I thought.
The what was I going to say?
And it took 40 days for that to happen. Never mind.
No, it was
40
it
years.
took 4 days and it was gone. I did start you a new one, and I checked it yesterday, and the roots were just starting to come out of the pot. So I will.
I'm going to put it someplace else.
I'll bring it to you next week.
Okay. I'm not going to put it where I put it the other one.
You know, my wife was thoroughly disgusted yesterday because I don't know if you remember, but we have a table on our patio. Then in the corner, there's two palm trees.
Yes.
In a pot.
I know the palms. Yes, they're very big palms. They look very nice.
Yeah, and well, yesterday I went and watered that because it looked like the impatiens in there were drooping with all the heat, and I thought I heard something rustle, and I put more water, and a rat ran out of it.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
My wife was so disgusted.
Was she right there?
No, but of course I had to tell her about it.
See, now here's the difference between Shannon and Dana. Dana would say, "Well, where did it go? I can probably feed it."
Oh, goodness. No way. I couldn't get it.
Yeah.
I can get it from Brian.
Oh, you want my phone?
Or can you pull open the comments over there and see if you can find
Lenore's question on roses.
question on roses, and then someone else had a question on grow power.
And while Brian's doing that, we'll go with the quote of the week.
Yo, yeah.
Quote of the week is by May Sarton, who is I think around the turn of the last century was, I'm trying to, I might be misremembering this, but I think she lived in like the Bahamas or Bermuda or one of those islands. Mm-hmm. And she was a gardener and a writer, and I think she wrote some poetry. But anyway, she said that a garden is always a series of losses set against a few triumphs.
Yeah.
Just like life itself.
Very true. And, embrace the triumphs, right? Because,
Because there's so few of them.
Exactly. Did you find him?
Okay, I think and I guess there might be several that we didn't address. But
Yeah,
I think
real quick, the problem is John, the way that our system is set up right now and the way that John can see comments, it's not like what we used to be able to do.
Right.
So we'll rely on you, Brian.
So this is Lenora that they.
Yeah,
right?
she said she just posted again. She wanted to know if her 2 rose plants that are kind of
died in the immense heat will recover.
Yeah, and she said they look brown and dry. From that description, I would say no. But, it depends, too. Were they grafted? Were they not grafted? Mm-hmm. If they were not grafted, even if the top is dead, sometimes if the roots are still alive, it'll send up new sprouts. So if they're in an area that doesn't hurt, just leave it. If they're in containers, keep them watered.
Yeah.
But I would say that 95% of the time when I try to bring one back that did that, it's dead.
And a lot of people make the mistake they begin to overwater it, right? Like they flood it.
Yeah.
And that is also, something, again, we just emphasize the idea of keeping it damp but not wet because, then, this plant that is dried out, now you flood it, now it's feeling like it's underwater. It's just going to stress it out and it's going to make it worse.
Are you, John? I guess you can see the comments and questions now.
Well, Rochelle had a question.
Yeah,
Grow power.
Did you see it? The grow power question?
Her question was where could she get it,
I
believe, but
the one that we were talking about.
Yeah, but
or
we were
in
talking
general.
about Grow More.
Grow More.
Grow Power, I have no idea, but I think that, do you guys carry Grow Power? I know Walter Anderson's does.
I don't think we do now, but I could be wrong.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
Walter Anderson's carries Grow Power. They were the big Grow Power sellers in San Diego.
Yep. Yeah.
So you could check with them. But if it's Grow More, Rochelle, and I think the product, do you remember, Tiger, is it called BioStart?
I think that's what it was.
Or
It was bio something.
yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, that comes in 40-pound bags, so you could get one bag and it would probably feed your plants for the whole year.
But that one you had to order through the
Right.
Rose
Well,
Society.
that's what I was going to mention, is that if you join the San Diego Rose Society, they take orders starting in December, I think, and then it's ready for pickup in January. So they allow their members to go ahead and order.
Yeah.
So I would do that.
Okay,
Okay.
that's fine.
Are you going to
You
join?
do what you want to do.
You can.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean everybody has to.
Good idea. But at least you see the questions now, right?
Well, no, he doesn't see them. They reposted them. His don't stay up like yours.
So on my phone, they wouldn't stay up either?
No, because it's the way that we're doing the
I
Facebook
gotcha.
Live. And also, John looks at it from Facebook, where I look at it from the Facebook Business Suite,
Right.
which
Okay.
shows a different view. And since my phone is over there, I can't do that.
And a quick apology to anyone listening on Biz Talk Radio, because you're thinking
Getting a
now,
lot of Facebook.
who cares?
Yeah, exactly. I hear you guys all
I'm just
fine.
listening to you guys just fine.
I'm just so disappointed with Brian's radio descriptions.
I don't blame you.
Carla wants to know how close to the main stem of a plant, below a bud union, should she cut off a rootstock cane. Mm-hmm. And if it's possible to pull it off, rip it off, that's the best way to ensure that it doesn't sprout again. But otherwise, get as close as possible. Because if you leave even a half-inch nub, there's dormant buds in there, and it'll just resprout again.
Yep. Yeah.
And some are worse than others. Fortuniana rootstock, any bud will just send out this 20-foot plant within a year. So you've got to keep that cut back.
And they sold a product called Sucker Stopper, which was a spray that.
Oh yeah, I think you can still get that, can't you?
Yeah, you cut it
Stopper,
and then you
yeah.
spray it on there, which would help control it too.
Except on Sucker Stopper, you don't cut it.
Was it just spray the foliage?
Just as the sucker's coming up, you spray it.
So it's got to have a new amount of foliage. Okay,
Yeah.
I
There's a
thought
sucker that
you
comes
cut
up
it.
every minute, right?
I thought you cut it and then sprayed it. And
It is
sealed
break
it.
time. We got to take a
Sucker
break.
is stopped every minute.
Like sucker born every minute. It's kind of play on P.T. Barnum. Okay, we're going to take a break. Biz Talk Radio, Facebook Live. Back after these messages. It is Garden America. Thank you for joining us. Okay, just like that, we are back. I think we're almost caught up with the questions, the comments. What are you grinning at?
Well, I'm grinning because it seems like if a listener doesn't like an answer, they change the information they gave us.
Didn't we just talk about that in the nursery the other day? Like,
Yeah.
People come in, I watered it yesterday.
Yeah.
I believe you watered it, but the week before where you didn't water it.
I like John's story where the guy that was working for Frank's nursery said, okay, I'll tell you what. If you admit you lied to me, if you lied to me, I'll give you a free plant. All right,
If you admit you didn't water the plant, I'll give you a new one. Okay, I didn't water. Lenore added a little more information. She said that she still had one green stem. Yeah, if you've still got a green stem in a rose,
then it's a viable plant.
It's way better than a 50-50 chance it'll come back.
Again, don't overwater it.
Well, Lenore lives in canyon country, and I don't know if it's not as bad as Palm Springs, but it's getting up there, right?
So it's like
close.
Impossible to overwater, is what you're saying?
No, what I'm saying is that the roses go into a dormant period in the summer.
Yeah.
And it's not water that they need, except to just, make sure they don't go too dry. It's getting harder and harder to breathe.
Yeah.
They were just here, weren't they, Maroon 5, Wednesday night?
I don't know.
Wow.
Were they?
Yeah.
I
They were
guess.
doing a private concert. I was invited. That's why I brought it up. I didn't go.
Oh, at somebody's house?
No, it was...
Just for John?
What's called the Shell in San Diego? Do you know?
Oh, that used to be the
it's
show.
the one on the water down there in
Chula Vista, right?
No, it's the one in Seaport Village.
Oh, yes, it used to be Viejas Concerts by the Bay.
Oh.
Yes.
Anyway,
it's a grassy area right down there.
They were grassy knoll, right?
Yeah, I saw Santana there years ago. And Paul Simon, actually.
Huh. Well, if you'd have been there Wednesday, you
I
would have seen...
I would have seen more on 5.
You know what? There's a Burling, Leong has bred a rose called Maroon 8.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that supposed to be a play on Maroon 5?
Well, I
what's
asked
Maroon
her,
8 mean?
I said, where did you get the name from? She says, well, the color's maroon and it has 8 petals.
Oh, there you go.
Because that was my first thought, a play on Maroon 5.
Yeah. And what happened to 6 and 7?
Yeah, I mean, come on.
You know, my 14-year-old granddaughter asked me that exact question yesterday.
She's 14 already?
Yeah, that's her. She just had her birthday.
Yeah, that's quick.
I know.
14.
But I was trying to get some roses ready that, I told you people are coming over from the California Rose Society to get roses ready for the auction. And she picked up one that said Maroon 8 on it. And she goes, what happened to 6 and 7?
I have the same mind of a 14-year-old girl.
Of course. Well, your daughter's 14, 15?
Get you in trouble, Tiger. You better be careful.
Yeah, she is 14, going to be 15 in October. Yeah.
They're 14 going on 16.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's intense. Wow. It's intense. She goes to an all-girls school, Tasia does. And, I think when I see kids at a normal public school, it's kind of hard to see the range sometimes of, this type of kid versus this type of person, right? Well, but when you're looking at, the same sex and it's all girls and you see, girls that dress and act this way and then you see girls that dress and act this way, it's easier to see the spectrum. And
do they wear uniforms?
Yeah, they wear uniforms.
Okay.
And it's crazy to see the difference just within one community. And it's a small community. I mean, the OLP school, I think, is maybe 400. No, it's got to be more than that. Maybe 800 people or something like that. So it's a very small sample compared to some of the other bigger public schools that have like thousands of kids there. But it's funny. I don't know, for the next 4 years, I don't know what to think for these next 4 years, what Tasia is going to.
I really feel for you.
Yeah, exactly.
When Gina went to high school her junior year in New Zealand, she went to a school that was the only co-ed school in Auckland.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Was she a foreign exchange student, obviously?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, she wasn't foreign. She was from here.
But she was foreign to them.
Yeah. But they still wore uniforms, though.
Yeah.
Even though it was co-ed, they had uniforms.
Uniform's a great thing.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I wore, well, you wouldn't have, but I wore a uniform in grade school.
No, I went to public school. We wore jeans, shirts, whatever we wanted.
Yeah. Did you grow up in PB?
Yes.
Right. So you're lucky if you guys had shoes on. Like your teacher was like, "Oh, Brian, put on shoes when you come in."
No, the teachers didn't wear shoes.
True.
They came in flip flops and shorts.
True.
It was very, very laid back, very casual. And Pacific Beach back in the 60s was just sleepy. Just nobody even knew it existed if you didn't live here.
I think you were lucky if you learned to read.
I did okay. I'm up to M in the alphabets now.
Oh.
So
I know that's not true because you can
say it backwards.
Say it backwards, yeah.
And that, speaking of teachers, that I told you the story. We had in 12th grade, we had a teacher who was actually a professor, but he taught part-time at the high school. His name was Dr. Stern. But he was one of those guys from the 60s, and he was like, "Hey, man, it's all cool. I get you. I understand you. You look forward to going to his class." And he said, "I want to teach you how the brain works. So what we're going to do is we're going to learn the alphabet backwards. And you're going to start with Z, and you may get Z, Y, and then stop, and then you're going to put a little dot there, and you're going to chart to see how one day you've got 5 or 6, and next day maybe you only got 2 or 3. But like the stock market, you should see, a rise in your learning aspect. Mm-hmm. And after about maybe a week, you'll get it. And yeah, sure enough, and to this day,
you still know.
I never ever forgot it. And that just really weird going from backwards to forwards.
Do you know it both ways just as easy?
Think so. ZYXWVUTS. Oh, see, this is the thing that I get.
That's not really compelling radio.
No, it's not. ZYXWVUTS.
We used to play a Rose game where you would go around. We usually play it on a bus, and you would have to think of a rose variety that began with A. So the next person had to do
a rose game. Yeah. Which bus were you riding where you had these people with you?
How old were you?
No, we would take, remember we would do, I think that was back with Garden Compass, we would do bus tours.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, we did bus tours.
Yeah. And you just go through the whole alphabet, and then as soon as somebody was out, if you couldn't think of one, usually it was X or Q that would stump people.
Oh, there's got to be a rose named Xylophone or Zebra.
Well, there's Lottie Detch.
See? Perfect. Yeah.
And there is one called Zebra, too.
I believe it. Yeah. Just like every time you look at an alphabet chart, for X it's Xylophone, for Z it's Zebra.
Yeah. Or as they say in South Africa and England, zebra.
I think we mentioned this before, but Tiny Petals Nursery, which was in Chula Vista, and Dee Bennett was the owner and breeder of a lot of miniature roses. Her goal was to have created a rose for every letter of the alphabet.
Oh.
And when she got to X, she came up with X-rated.
X-rated.
It is break time. 2 more segments, by the way. So do stay with us. Garden America, Biz Talk Radio. Going to take a break for our friends on Biz Talk Radio. Thank you for tuning in. This is Garden America. All righty. Having fun. Back from the break. Biz Talk Radio, Facebook Live. No, never wore a school uniform. Friends of ours who went to private school did. La Jolla Country Day. They wore uniforms.
Yeah, I went to a parochial school, and we, through grade school, we all wore uniforms. I don't think the high school did, though.
No.
Did you go to summer camp? I'm not summer camp, but like 6th grade camp during the school year?
No, they didn't have that there.
No.
Did you?
Yeah, but it's a California
that's San Diego,
thing.
Isn't it?
California.
Yeah.
But even now, I think it's not even everywhere does it. Not in California. It used to be part of California curriculum.
Exactly.
It's
I did go to summer camp one year, though.
That's part of their life there. See, we're here. Exactly. We have to remove ourselves from the city.
And I think in 2nd grade, I went to summer camp too with a buddy of mine, Camp Marston.
Oh yeah, it still exists.
Does it?
Yeah.
Camp Cuyamaca?
Yeah, that's one of the big places that kids go to 6th grade camp at.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, back to our rose discussion. Carla wants to know how far up the main stem you can put soil. Just as far as you want.
Yeah.
Right?
As far as
not
when
past
you're
the
cutting?
leaves.
What do you mean?
when you're planting it, I guess. She said that hers seem to get quite a bit above the soil line. Usually in California, they keep the bud union above the soil line so you can see if the plant's suckering.
Yeah, they leave,
Right.
quite a bit.
But in cold climates, they bury the bud union because if the plant freezes to the ground, there's still a chance that it'll come up. If the bud union is exposed, then the whole plant's dead.
Unless you're grafting and then you
cold.
want to plant it. You don't want the graft to be below the soil.
And in cold
No,
areas,
it is.
they
That's
mulch.
what I'm saying. In
Right.
cold areas, they do put it below the soil.
And they mulch the whole plant sometimes, right?
Well, we used to have, I don't know what they do now because I haven't lived in a cold climate since 1977. But we used to have rose collars, and it would be like a plasticized cardboard thing that you would hook around the rose, and then you would fill that with like cocoa
straw.
bean mulch.
Or cocoa bean mulch or straw. Sometimes
Just some type of mulch.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that just prevents, like you're saying, it from freezing in the wintertime.
Yeah, it's usually not the cold, but it's the drying winds. So if you've got something around it, the stems usually survive. And
Now-
like I said, that's what their spring pruning is just cutting out everything that's dead.
Now, I'm sure this has happened because there's so much prep work. Like we talk about here, you put down when there's a frost advisory, those plants that you're concerned about, you put a frost cloth over. And we've said just a light sheet is enough. You don't need a blanket. Don't do a plastic bag. Definitely don't do a black plastic bag.
Because that absorbs the heat.
Well, and there's no light, and if you forget
Right.
to take it off, it's very bad, right? So back there, did they have to be really on top of removing that winter prep work stuff? Or was there like a good window, like a month that you had that if you left it on too long, did it kill the plant?
Well, you wanted to make sure you did not remove it too early
Oh.
because you would usually have like a January thaw. And the temperature would go up to 70 degrees for a day or two. So you don't want to remove it during then, but then you don't want to leave it on so long that the buds begin to grow under there. And then when you take it off, you've got this really tender growth, and then you get cold weather.
Oh, okay.
So I really admire rose growers in those areas.
'Cause there's a lot of
because
planting.
I don't think I would grow roses if I lived in those areas.
Yeah. A lot of planning, a lot of prep work,
Yeah.
a lot of timing, like we talked about. Like you say, and you could do everything right. Like, let's say you waited until after your normal last frost and you're good to go and you go through, and then a weird phenomenon weather event happens. Next thing you know, dead.
It used to be, we've talked about it before, but there were 13 weeks in the spring where garden centers were open.
Yeah.
And they sold plants, and after that you couldn't get outdoor plants anymore.
Yeah.
It was just like, if you haven't planted by now, what's the point?
That's why you guys at Frank's sold other items, right?
Oh, yeah, I could told you all winter, it was women's
Bloomers,
undergarments.
bloomers, and
Frank's Bloomers.
Yeah.
Frank's bloomers.
All kinds of irregular clothes.
Some were parachutes.
Yeah, that's true.
Are we good?
We are, I think. It's you. I won't ask now.
Uh-oh.
Off the air, you can explain to me why that's happening this way now.
The questions?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I can explain. But what I did say is it's because of the way we're shooting it now, and it's because you're not opening it under the business suite. Like, meaning you're opening it as Facebook, as all of our other listeners are watching right now, where normally when I open it under the business suite, which
gives you access,
which gives us different view of the comments. But it has to do with the way we're shooting. Right. That's why, and there's other people that said, oh, I can't see all the comments, and and it's only popping up on the top part of the screen, and it's because of the way we're shooting the show right now.
Right.
Is what's creating that problem. Where Brian is watching it on a computer, so he has a whole dialogue on the right side of his screen.
Because it's on the computer.
Yeah. But if you're watching it on a phone right now, and probably even a tablet, it's a different view.
So what do you think next week? Do you want to give it a shot at your place?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Bingo. That'll be fun.
Your house?
Garden America, my house.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
In the backyard there?
Yep.
Wi-Fi's right there?
Tiger's shop.
Cameras and everything?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, we're going to give it a shot. It's not too far from the station.
No.
That's the beauty.
No, it's close, yeah.
Exactly.
Right up the road, make a left.
Right up the
Right?
road, make a left.
Yeah. I'll get directions again.
I'll get you all set up.
Yeah. So that'll be next week. So that'll be fun. That'll give people a completely different outlook and view of what you're doing back there.
Yeah, it'll be good.
One thing we haven't talked about on roses yet, if you're in warm climates, this fall's a great time to plant new roses.
Yes. And it's a great time to get roses because they're usually on sale. I mean, the ones that you find. Right. Your selection's limited.
Right.
But the price is right.
Is that like buying a barbecue right now?
Yeah.
Same thing. Hey, it was $500 last week. Yeah, $250.
Like buying fruit trees.
Yeah.
Right?
You know, that's what's so funny about, seasonally what we can do gardening. It's kind of like the barbecues you see at Home Depot, right? They're on sale now. They've drastically reduced. We're probably going to have good weather for a while.
Oh, yeah. We're very different than, the packies. People there, like you say, packing up, putting it all away.
Yeah.
And we're like, no, we still got 4 months.
$300 off that barbecue. I can probably use this through January.
In cold climates, you don't want to be planting roses.
No.
Because they're not going to have time to get established before winter, and they're just going to freeze. I did want to make a comment about, we recommended that people go to YouTube and look up
The rose starting videos.
Right. And, sometimes I have to admit I have an elitist attitude. Which
You?
I try to fight it. But, my first thing is to criticize. But there's some younger people on there doing videos. And it's like, I listened to the video, and the guy who did it, actually, he did a good job explaining how to go through and take rose cuttings and root them. And I would say he was probably maybe 10 years younger than Tiger. Mm-hmm. So, young guy. But he did a good job. But as he's going through this greenhouse, he goes, we're going to propagate roses today. And look at this yellow one. This is beautiful. And then here's a red one. And then there's a white one. And it's like, a rosarian would never say their colors. It's like, what's the name of it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what is it?
Like just like a basic.
Yeah, and then he'll make a comment like, but we won't propagate any that are copyrighted, of course. Well, you don't copyright a rose. You only copyright books or literature. Roses are patented or trademarked. So.
Well, here's something else, too. Have you ever gone to YouTube? You just want directions on something, right? So you go, oh, good. This is how you put together this chair, as an example. It takes him 10 minutes to get to the actual instructions because he's busy trying to be a YouTube star. Hey, hi, how you doing? I just came back from the store. My wife and I are going to make dinner, and I know we got this nice chair. You probably wonder how to put it together. It's like, okay, just get to it. Go. I just want you to just tell me. Just tell me how to do it. Yeah. And occasionally you'll find someone who gets to the point. It's 2 minutes. Here's how you do it.
Now, John, I mean, can you, take a cutting from a rose and propagate it and just not sell it? Or is it completely illegal to take a trademarked rose and reproduce it?
You can reproduce trademark roses all you want. You just can't sell them as under that name. You could sell them and put, for instance, a lot of people will grow David Austin roses, and they don't have a license from David Austin to grow it. Mm-hmm. So if it's...
We're going to take a break real quick. We'll come back.
All right. Well,
don't lose the train of thought.
Take the break. You have to remind me when we come
I will.
back. All right.
Trademarked roses, growing, propagation. Okay. One more segment. Do stay with us on Biz Talk Radio, Facebook Live. This is Garden America. And we are back. Hope you had a good break. Thank you for tuning in. Those on Biz Talk Radio as we wrap things up, another edition. And just prior to the break here on Garden America, trademarking roses, growing roses, propagating roses. John said you could grow all you want. You just can't.
Well, if they're trademarked and you wanted to sell them.
Yeah.
And let's take a David Austin rose, let's say the Squire. Mm-hmm. You could not sell it as the Squire, but the breeder name is, all Austin roses have a breeder name that's AUS something, maybe AUS Squire.
Okay.
You could call it AUS Squire and sell it as that, and people could go and look up what rose is that, and they go, oh, this is the Squire. Yeah, this is what I want. So you could go ahead and sell it that way.
Yeah. I'm not trying to cut out
But what you cannot do is a patented rose. A patented rose, you own the rights to that, and no one can take cuttings. And as a matter of fact, the patent usually says that asexual reproduction is prohibited. So that means you're not supposed to root it. You're not supposed to start a new one.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure everybody abides by that.
Yeah, well, I was just trying to kind of point out that, not to scare people because, a lot of people, might, be worried about whatever they're doing. But, as long as you're not selling it, if you're just having it for your
right,
own.
It's still illegal. But
yeah, no. Well,
nobody knows you're breaking the law.
Well, no, but I'm saying
okay.
patented, you're saying it is illegal.
Right.
But if you're saying like a trademark one, it is not illegal to propagate
because what's trademarked
is
just the name.
Yeah.
It's only the name that's trademarked.
Okay.
And the reason people trademark instead of patent, because patent gives you complete protection, is it's much easier and cheaper to trademark. You can go in. I've trademarked plants myself, and you can do it through the United States Patent and Trademark Office online. So once you get used to it, it's not that difficult to do. But for patent, you almost need a patent attorney.
Yeah.
And you've got to go through.
And don't those last only so many years, and then everybody can jump in on it?
Patents are 20 years
Yeah.
on plant patents. Plant patents are different than regular patents.
But yeah, I mean, if you were going around and selling them or trying to make money off of them, it's different. But if you're just doing it because you want to try it out and have it at your home, then, nobody's coming around and checking.
Well, I think your general attitude is that laws are made to be broken. If you're not hurting anybody, you just go ahead and do it.
That is definitely
I'm not hurting
how
anybody.
We all know what I do as I travel.
It's like speeding on the freeway and nobody's there. There's no traffic, and it's 2 o'clock in the morning.
It's only wrong if you get caught.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I want to make sure I didn't miss you addressing Carla's question. What's the last Carla question that you addressed?
Oh, Carla said she had one more, and she promised it was the last one.
Do you know what it is?
And you
Brian?
John's
I wanted to hold answering it because I'm not sure I believe that promise, but no, we're happy to answer questions all the time.
Oh yeah, sure, of course.
And she has a rose called Land Lust.
Land of Lust.
No, Land Lust.
Land Lust.
Yes, Land of Lust.
Land of Lust. Wow.
That's right.
Like a nightclub.
Hey, this is a rose, all right? I believe it.
It's called Land Lust, and I think it has another name.
Landless? Like there's no land, or land lust?
Lust.
With a T at the end.
Right.
That's what I thought.
Okay.
Right. But it has another name also, which is, I'm forgetting. But she says it sends out really long canes, and they're not rootstock. Mm-hmm. And she wants to know if she can prune them off. Don't prune them off if it's not rootstock. Just cut them back, to the rest of the bush, and it'll put out stems.
Is that more of a vining rose?
Some roses are like that. Depending on the climate they're in, I usually call them semi-climbers. And depending on the time of year, they'll put out long canes like that. But you can cut those back.
Got it.
Doesn't hurt the plant to cut it back.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of what the name was. I think it was more of a tropical name.
What? Oh, the original name for that one?
Well, I think Landlust is the original name, but I think it's being sold under something else.
Hawaiian land lust?
Hawaiian
tropical.
Hawaiian land.
You said tropical name.
Oh,
Pina colada land lust?
No. Landless is not even in the name.
Oh, bummer.
Is
just land or just lust?
You're confusing me.
Exactly. I could see his mind punching on his phone and then thinking to do something. It's kind of like when I'm starting the show and you guys are talking.
And you haven't heard from Tiger for 10 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm trying to read his facial expressions. Are we on the air? Is that good? Is there a problem?
It's in. I'm on Help Me Find, and it's not in there. Landlust is, but it doesn't
have the other one.
The other name that I'm thinking of.
Did you finish watching Twilight Zone with your kids?
Not finished, but we've watched some more. Yeah. It's. Do you know where the term "jumping the shark" came from?
Yes, it came from Happy Days.
Yeah.
It came from Fonzie when he actually jumped a shark when he was water skiing at the end. I think by that time Ron Howard had left the show. A lot of people had left, and it was like, you know what, you should have stopped last season. Like when a series goes too long.
Yeah.
You should have stopped before you jumped the shark.
Jump the shark,
exactly.
yeah.
And so, we watched some more of the Twilight Zones. And, Twilight Zone, I don't think ever jumped the shark because it started off already jumping the shark. Meaning like, do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but we've definitely got to a point where they're like seeing some remakes or some same morals.
Same themes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just put in a different way.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
So
You're on another planet.
Yeah, so they get kind of we'll start one and then they're like, I don't want to finish this one because we already know what's the.
Hey, we got to wrap up here.
This is it?
Yeah, this is it. So next week.
Wait a second. We haven't had the time where the show closes down for a second.
No, we're going to close it down this week ourselves.
What? Is that possible?
Yeah. So next week at Tiger's house, look forward to that. That's going to be fun. We should have a good hookup. We'll get there early. We'll set things up. So enjoy the rest of your weekend. Have a great week.
And thanks for listening.
Yeah, we
really
appreciate it.
you being there.
This is Garden America. I'm Brian Main, John Bagnasco, Tiger Palafox, Biz Talk Radio. Till next week, have a safe one. And we'll do it again next week, I assume, from your backyard, right, Tiger?
Yep.
All right, there you go. Garden America, take care till next week from Tiger's house.